Hello, Forever family. We're starting day 4, D-side of DX4. And today I'm joined by a very special guest from the UK, Jay Ward. Now, we've heard about Jay Ward at home office because not only has Jay completed the DX4 program a few times, he's actually sold a lot of DX4 and helped other customers experience the power of DX4. Jay, welcome. So lovely to have you.
Hi, Holly. Alex, I'm well. Hope you're well.
Yay! Jay, I'm going to start by asking you a couple of questions, and I'd like you to reflect back on the last time that you did DX4. So talk to me. We're talking about day 4, which is your opportunity to decide how you're going to proceed past the day 4, how you're going to incorporate that one small goal, how you're going to make those slight adjustments to your diet. What was your experience like on day 4, the last time you completed DX4?
Day 4 for me was quite important actually, because day 4 is normally the day I start thinking about day 5 and what I'm going to do after the program that I'm on. And I can remember doing the day 4 and thinking, I want to continue this and I want to continue the way into my everyday life, rather than thinking, oh, tomorrow I'm going to have a normal life back, if that makes sense. And it was really, really important because I'm never like that. I'm a bit stuck in my ways, in my routine. And normally after a program, I think about how things used to be. On the last DX4, with day 4, I really thought about how I can adapt my normal life, but with the tips I learned over the last 3 days and on the 4th day for the rest, obviously moving forward from the program.
I love that. You know, Jay, I think that's so critical what you just said. You weren't just thinking about what you were going to eat the next day or how you could go back and resume your normal lifestyle. On day 4, it was so successful. Day 1, 2, and 3 were so successful. But by day 4, you're thinking, man, I really want to continue. I feel great. I want to continue. So what does day 5 through 30 and so on until I do the next DX4? That's fantastic. I love the way that slightly changes a mentality and you want to just do better on day 5. I think that's beautiful. Thank you. So did you notice anything different on day 4 in your cravings, in your sleep, in your energy? Did you notice anything different when you got up on day 4 and when you completed day 4?
Yeah, definitely the cravings of sugar completely are gone by then. I'm quite a sweet tooth. I like a lot of sugary things. It's only a small amount, but it's still that little bit of sugar, like in the middle of the day or in the evening. And that had completely gone by day 4. My sleep, I have a good sleep pattern anyway, but my sleep was like, my head would hit the pillow and I'd wake up in the morning, and the rest of the night would be just like a second, if that makes sense. There was no waking up like a couple of times in the night. And I know it sounds weird, but obviously you drink a lot of water on the DX4. I wasn't waking up to go to the toilet in the night either, which was really strange because by day 4, I've drank quite a lot of water. I should wake up a couple of times, but I wasn't, and it just felt great to be. I woke up alive in the morning, but it felt really fresh. Where I don't know if you're like this, other people, but if I've had too much sleep sometimes, I can feel really sluggish because I've slept too much. No, I'd slept amazingly well, and actually felt like I always say it sounds a bit silly, but I felt like I'd been plugged into the socket and recharged, and like I woke up like full battery, if that makes sense, like your mobile phone. And I just felt so well. And I just felt, and it's really weird, I felt quite light, even though I didn't necessarily lose a lot of weight, because it was more about obviously feeling good inside. I actually felt light. I didn't feel that sluggish you can feel sometimes first thing in the morning. So yeah, I felt amazing.
I love that. So you slept better, you had more energy, your cravings had gone away. And I love that you used the word sluggish, because that's really what DX4 is about. It's about eliminating all that consumption so that you can center, get into that mind, body, soul connection, really go inside and understand what your body needs and make just one slight change. So I love that on day 4, you said you had a lot of energy, because that's really truly, as you go through the DX4 program, that's really the end result. Yes, you're going to lose weight. And as we discussed, it's not a weight loss program, but you are going to lose weight. But it's how you feel with that extra sluggishness gone. how you're able to, I love how you said you plugged in and recharged. That's exactly what DX4 is intended to do. So it sounds like you completed the program successfully. Did anything surprise you about day 4 when you were doing day 4 of DX4?
I think the biggest surprise for me was for the fact that I was thinking about the future. I wasn't thinking about day 4 as an end, which I've done quite a few programs in the time, 7 programs and other programs. And the end thing is the end. And you always think, it's the end tomorrow and I'm going to do this the day after. Where I was thinking more like the future with the ways that the sort of the things I've been doing on the DX4. Obviously not as strict because, it is quite a controlled program, but just how I can adapt them into my life. And that really surprised me. That is not me at all.
When you introduced a salad, I know that there are a lot of people that say that's not my typical diet. I'm either a meat and potatoes person or I am 100% vegetarian and that is my diet. But when they take that green salad in on that day 3 and 4, how did you feel when you incorporated the salad in your day 4?
I will be completely honest. So if I had a salad with my meal, I'd have cucumber and lettuce, loads of olive oil and a bit of salt. And that is my salad. So when I opened my booklet, when I looked online and looked at the booklet, on the day before I started and seen on day 3, it was this big green salad, I was like, what am I going to eat? But then when I broke it down and I looked what you could have, and there was like vegetables on there as well, which I would normally eat. Not necessarily eat raw, but I thought I could try that. And just things that I wouldn't normally have reached for, I did. And it seems like that it really surprised me. The fact that even though I do eat quite healthy, it's not with salad. And, when I've done, when you're a bit younger and you have, I'm going to eat really healthy this week. And every night you have whatever you have with salad. And I'm hungry a minute afterwards because I'm like, I don't feel like I've had anything to eat. I'm just like, this salad. But no, it was the big green salad was a changing point for me because I couldn't eat it all. I was like so full on day 3 when I had my salad. I'd done this quite a big bowl, so it wasn't that massive, but it was a big bowl. And I can remember eating halfway through and thinking, I'm not going to manage this. And I'm like, it's a salad. Why am I not going to manage it? It's a salad, And it was like really strange. It did baffle me for quite a while actually afterwards. So I'm like, how can salad fill me up when it's a salad?
Love that. Thank you for sharing that. So right now we've got the whole forever world watching this and they're gleaning pieces of information from you. So what tips do you have for our other FBOs and brand new consumers about their final day of DX4?
I think with all programs, you need to understand what you're doing from day 1. So you read through it and then, like me, you don't see 4 as a final day. You see 4 as the final day of the program that you're on. And then, I wrote down what I would normally eat on day 5. I'm not a big writer down don't normally write things down like my meals and stuff. But I actually broke down what I would normally eat on a normal day, and how I could adapt day 4 to my day 5 in a sense. So I think when you do the program yourself, I think you just need to look at your normal daily life and how you can adapt the tips and the things you've learned on the DX4 into your normal routine, because there's things in there that are so simple to do, and just to adapt into your life. Even snacks, have some cucumber and hummus. I love that. I've got to admit, I had cucumber and hummus as my snack on the day 3 and day 4. Not a hummus. I made it fresh as well. I didn't buy it from the supermarket like people can do, but I followed the recipe and it was so nice. And I've still had that now for a snack. Like if I've been busy and I just feel like something to eat before, because I've got to go back out, I'll make some hummus up normally once a week, and I'll just eat that as a snack beside a cucumber or carrots. And it's things like that I would never. It would have been a chocolate bar, some biscuits. So just adapt that into your normal routine, and you'll love the results going forward. But just see how you can adapt what you've learned from the DX4 into your actual, normal life.
I love it. I love your energy, Jay. This just This will be my 13th or 14th time doing DX4. And right now, I actually get excited to do it because I experience those finite results and those benefits that you mentioned. And when you choose those nutrient-dense foods, how you invigorate the body and how everything comes alive. And it's so much more suitable that if you could just make one change, right? Just one less cup of coffee or one less sweet and replace it with something that's nutrient dense, how large of a response your body gives versus the small response that, oh, I've had my cup of coffee, I get a caffeine high and then I drop, or I've had my chocolate, now what? It just is, it sustains you a little bit longer. So I love your energy. It's fantastic. So the last question, actually, I'm gonna ask for you to share something we talked about, but the final question is, going into this next DX4, will you do anything differently on DX4 than you've done in the past?
Personally, on my next one, I start the first full week of January, and I actually am going to follow it exactly like I did last time, because I followed it literally to the book. I didn't cheat. I didn't do anything that I shouldn't have. You know, I followed it to the letter, and I think I'm going to do exactly the same this time, because my results on day 4 was so good that I wouldn't want to change it, because if you change anything, I might not get the same results. So I want to keep the results that I got last time. And I believe the only way to do that is by sticking to it like I did before.
Perfect. Perfect. I love that. Doing the same thing and getting even better results. I love that. So Jay, we were talking before we started the interview and you shared something that I found to be so powerful. You talked about some habits that you changed many days or even perhaps weeks or months after you did your first and second DX4. Share that a little bit with you when you were at a restaurant and you reflected back on your DX4 experience, which had been either many weeks or days prior to you being in the restaurant. We can share that with the world. I think it's so powerful.
That's Holly, not a problem. So for me, I am a bit of a, if I go out for a meal, I always have the same thing. I'll have a steak and I always have everything literally chopped up. Onion rings, mushrooms, the sauce, literally everything. And one thing I noticed after the DX4, when I've gone out for a meal, not only did I look at the menu, which is really important because I don't normally, I'll just look for the steak and be like, right, I'm having that. I actually looked at the menu and what other things were available, which I probably would like. And then, you know, sometimes I had like a steak but with salad, which, believe me, I would never have done. Or not add as much carbs with whatever food I was having. I wouldn't have like, sometimes if like garlic bread came with it or like got bread with it or something, I would say no, I'm okay, thank you. And it's just things like that, you know, the carb bulk that I used to think was good because it would make me feel full, I thought actually I don't need that. And then another massive change for me was my dairy milk. I've always had full fat dairy milk since a child, and you know, in my tea, I only really have milk in my tea anyway. And if I'd been told before the DX4 that I was going to change from dairy milk to alternative milk, I would have been like, no chance. I'd rather not drink tea than have an alternative. But on the DX4, I changed to no sugar soya. And I've got to admit, the first few days were a bit like, okay. But you know, after I finished the DX4, and when you think we're going back to May here, I still drink no sugar dairy soya milk now in my tea. And I absolutely prefer it. I went to a friend's house a couple of weeks ago, had a cup of tea, and they'd used dairy milk, and I just remember thinking, oh, this tastes awful. And I couldn't remember thinking why. And then it was only when I realised, oh, it's normal milk. That I actually realised and clicked on that, oh, it's not soya milk, that's why. Yeah, and the amazing thing is, and this is really big for me, is my partner's not anti anything I do. Literally, anything forever, anything like that. And if I'm trying to change anything, oh, no. Over Christmas, I had a cup of tea, tipped milk in to his tea by accident, my milk, I should say. He took a sip and we were like, wow, what's this? It tastes lovely. And now we're both on soy milk. And, you know, DX4 is not just changing my life, it's not changing my partner's life, and he's never done it. What can you ask for even more?
I love that. That's so I guess the conclusion is that DX4 doesn't stop today on day 4. It continues on. And I love that you said that you're changing the world of people around you as well, and you're helping them. And it's not a massive change, right? From dairy milk to unsweetened soya milk. That might be considered a change in your overall lifestyle because it's something you've done habitually since you were a child. But the fact that you've made just one small change, I mean, it's just a splash of something different, and that you can experience, benefits or long-term results from that. And I love that you're changing the world of people around you. So Jay, thank you so much for spending time with me today. To all of our FBOs out there, it's day 4. You can do it. We believe in you. Jay's had amazing experience. He's sold many export to customers. Keep up the good work, and we'll check in tomorrow and just recap the whole week. So sending everyone the biggest hugs and loves. Thank you, Jay, for spending time with us.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye.